think we'll tackle the UFC. Let's go with some quick notes before we jump into the UFC 261. So it was officially confirmed today. Logan Paul is fighting Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match on June the 5th. The polls still getting out there. I guess people are watching. Yeah, they're paying money for it.
Makes money.
Yeah, makes money.
You know, that Jake Paul Askin fight was 90% performers and music acts. So
Snoop Dogg commentating.
Yeah,
they're putting on a show.
Yeah, it's a show. So Floyd's, of course, is like his money, so he wants to cash in on this, so he's getting involved.
Do you think it's disrespectful to like genuine boxers that?
I wouldn't say what Jake, considering his type of opponent. If Floyd doesn't go out here and smoke Logan, I think Logan's 6'2", and he's probably
way bigger than him.
Yeah, he'd have easy 6 inches on him, and probably in the vicinity of 30 pounds. Like he'll be a lot bigger than Floyd is. But Floyd's going to kill him, honestly. So
I don't look.
Don't even question it. Floyd's 15-0. He's the greatest boxer of all time.
Floyd doesn't lose. Floyd doesn't lose. But Floyd doesn't knock guys out that are his size.
He smokes McGregor. He's going to win.
Do you reckon he knocks him out?
Oh, yeah, easy. I think he kills him.
You think he knocks him out?
Yeah.
I don't think he knocks him out.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I'm with you, Monks. I honestly, like, the bloke's way bigger than him. It's the greatest boxer pound for pound of all time.
If Logan makes it 4 or 5 rounds deep, he's getting punched 500 times. He's going to get knocked out.
Logan does not put a hand on him.
No, yeah. He's going to get absolutely smoked.
Logan does not put a hand on him, but I don't know that I don't think Mayweather can knock him out.
Oh.
If you knocked out Conor, like...
My point exactly.
Connor's not the size of Logan Paul.
Size doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's a fighter, though. He can cover his chin up.
Yeah. Connor's a bloke that had probably 30 fights before he got to that point. Logan's a YouTuber that's had 3 or 4.
Yeah, he's got... Yeah.
He kills him.
I'm not a big Mayweather fan, but no one fucking likes Logan Paul.
No one likes the Pauls.
I like Logan Paul more than I like Jake Paul. I'll tell you.
I'd agree with Mac on that point too. Yeah. No. Logan is a bit more of a not chills probably. Like, he's a bit more laid back,
less in your face.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And June 5, it's not that far away. Really.
No, not that far away at all.
Weeks. Yeah.
Speaking of upcoming fights, TJ Dillashaw is out of his Sanhagen fight. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. He's doing a bit of sparring work. He's got a massive cut above his eye, needs stitches. So he's unfortunately out of his fight, which I think was coming up in a couple of weeks. It was next month. Let's talk about probably one of the biggest cards it's of this year, and it's probably one of the biggest cards since let's call it the COVID era for the UFC. First time back with crowds, massive crowd, 15,000 people into. I think it was an ice hockey rink / basketball rink.
There in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville, of course, had the Buccaneers turn out. Jake Paul was there, and him and DC exchanged some words. DC saying he'd kill Jake Paul in a MMA exhibition kind of match. And,
duh.
Yeah, duh. And Jake was just like, yeah, but I didn't say MMA. I wanted to fight him in boxing, and I'd show him how good my boxing is compared to his. Anyway, DC's a heavyweight, so I don't see any chance of that.
No.
But anyway, this UFC 261 card, top to bottom of the main card, was excellent. Well, there was...
Even the prelims and undercards, I think, had some pretty big fights as well.
So some good fights. But I think we'll stick with the main card. And the first one had our boy, Jimmy Croot, the light heavyweight, fighting Anthony Lionheart Smith. I think Smith was going to win this fight anyway, following it on. But unfortunately for Jimmy, he gets hit with a low, is kind of calf kick, is a bit higher, hits him right on the back of the leg, dead leg, kills his leg completely. Could not stand on it at all. He's we'll get to the Weidman in a minute. He just it just goes nowhere. Like he keeps trying to stand on it and it's just floppy. It's flopping around everywhere. It's just really, really bad.
The rise of the calf kick, man. Like it's
massive. Like leg kicks.
It's ruining a lot of blokes.
Huge at the moment. And Jimmy tried a couple takedowns. He wanted to keep going in the second round. He made it out of the first, but just couldn't keep going. So unfortunately, Lionheart wins. Yeah, play that. Lionheart wins through this. So I think it's his left leg has no kind of feeling. He gets up with this and it just looks terrible afterwards, just below that play.
Did it break it?
It didn't break it. I think it was just nerve damage. So he's just
nerve damage.
So he instantly goes down and he can't feel his leg. It's a dead leg essentially. So he made it out of the first round. He tried standing up for the second. He said he was good to go. Took a backward step and it just collapsed underneath him again. The ref's like, I've seen enough. We can't let you continue.
Yep.
Anthony Smith was gracious with his win. But, huge step up for Jimmy. He was getting pieced up with a jab through this, so I don't think he was going to win this fight anyway.
Very classy there from Anthony Smith at the end, embracing Jimmy and wishing him all the best at the end there. But, he can't even step on that left leg, can he?
Yeah, he's like this. He's saying, I'm good to go, and then he steps back on it and it just gives out, and the ref's like, nah, we're done. And, he just... huge step up for Jimmy. We'll hope to see him back. He had a massive shout out for the Anzacs as well, being Australian. Compared it to Veterans Day, of course, in the US, and kind of shouted out and said, "Hey, send the love and respect back to the Australia and New Zealand countries." So then we roll into Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall, and Monks, just play the clip. I'm not sure if you boys have seen.
I won't be watching this.
It's not pretty. Restart that. Yeah, first kick. It's the very first kick of the entire match. Low kick, hits it right on like the meaty bits of Uriah Hall's knee, and
that's not even the worst bit.
Yeah, breaks both bones in his shin done. He can't stand on his foot. Uriah Hall tries to.
I hate it so much.
There it is.
It gives out. So Uriah Hall, first UFC fighter to ever win a fight without throwing a punch, or strike of that manner. Of course, the history.
That's so unlucky.
The history between these three blokes. So Chris Weidman, of course. Same thing happened to Anderson Silva in his fight. Anderson Silva broke his leg in the exact same way. Weidman then wins. So Weidman kind of ended Anderson Silva's title run. Uriah Hall ended Anderson Silva's career, essentially retired after them. So then had this fight.
Beat him twice, didn't he?
Yeah. And then they had this fight where Weidman has almost the exact same injury to Silva against Uriah Hall. Like the connection these three blokes have had throughout their careers, it's just scary. Like how it came full circle back to this. It's crazy.
Well, Weidman was... So Uriah Hall's first loss was to Weidman.
That too.
Win as well. So.
Yeah, 11
Can we turn
years
this
ago.
off?
Can you show the X-ray? So it's a clean break through all the bones. If you've still got that up, I think it was up a little bit high. Yeah, this. So he's just clean through. He had surgery the next day. He was pretty good out of the surgery, but huge loss for him. Trying to reinsert himself in the middleweight division. Not sure where Weidman goes from here career-wise. It's got a long road of recovery to get back.
Recovery there. Wishing him all the best for that.
Wishing him all the luck, all the best as well. Yeah. So then we roll into the three title fights, and was Bullet first or was
Bullet was first? Yeah, Valentina Shevchenko, that is.
Yeah, so Valentina Shevchenko came out and absolutely dominated. Everyone thought Andrade would beat her up with her wrestling, and Bullet just came out and wrestled the shit out of her. Got her into her favorite.
A lot bigger and a lot stronger.
Yeah, like so dominant. And from this, there's pound for pound, the two best women in the world is Bullet and Nunes. And they're already talking about they should run back their fight, which would be their trilogy.
Any chance, do you think?
Well, Nunes has won both.
Yep.
In the first one, she won by a unanimous decision. She won the first two rounds, lost the third one, and everyone said, well, if it went more rounds, Bullet was coming on strong, would probably have won that fight. They did rematch, I think 2018. Nunes won that by split decision. So again, super close. One judge had it for Bullet, so they're 1A and 1B essentially in the middleweight, in the women's division, with Nunes being slightly bigger than Bullet, of course, having the 135 and 145 belts, and Bullet having 125. It is a little bit of a weight game for her.
Massive,
But at 135, that's the nice middle ground for them.
Yeah.
I think they should just fight to the end of time. They're like this. They're so good at how much better they are than everyone else in the division, in the women's divisions. So I'm not sure where Bullet goes through from here. She's cleaned out that division again. So it makes sense for another Nunes fight. And Nunes done the same, clean out of her division. Like there's nothing else really left. But it was beautiful. Crucifix finish. elbowed the shit out of Andrade, wins the fight, does it easy, barely gets touched in this.
So it leads into the next fight?
Yeah, the women's strawweight, which saw Rose Namajunas take on Zhang Weili.
Yeah, trying to defeat communism. So she came out.
Jesus.
Well, Zhang, she got heavily booed in this as well. So the American crowd, of course, got behind the American and booed the absolute shit out of her. But it was kind of an interesting fight coming into this. Rose, as Monks and I saw, she was kind of chanting out, I'm the best, hyping herself up.
Getting that mentality right.
Yeah, had husband in the corner, of course, and Pat Berry. So, was
that the husband? I saw her.
Trainer.
Right.
So, Rose, of course, losing to Andrade. So it's really interesting that, again, the women that were on this fight, losing her championship by the brutal slam knockout that she got from Andrade. But come back, she knocked out Joanna to kind of win the belt originally. So coming into this, everyone worried about would she be able to deal with the power, but her movement, I think the finesse she was so good. Her in and out was beautiful. And then she kind of just sold the little shuffle in. Didn't know where the kick was coming from, and she just head kicked the shit out of Zhang. And then we saw Joe Rogan's reaction to it. So he just shuffles up, and she just misses it and just bang.
That's Tekken shit.
And then knocks it out, and then finishes it off with a few extra hammer fists. Zhang was kind of like, "Hey, you stopped it a bit early," but I think watching it back, she was like, "Hey, nah." And then of course Rogan reactions to this, him, DC, and Anik just getting. Just loving how it was going. Like every one of these fights was just like, oh my god, something else is happening. It was crazy good to watch. Like, it was an excellent fight.
Here we go with the reaction.
Because it was huge, and of course,
it was absolutely huge.
Yeah, and the crowd gets behind her. Rose, Rose was in tears after it, kind of finally getting back to that point of she takes some time off after losing the belts. She kind of said that she wasn't ready to be the champion at that first time. So she's come back, re-got her belt, tearing up. Rogan, I think, was tearing up as well during the post-match interview. So
there was some issues after that. McGregor had his spat and attacked that bus a couple of years ago.
Yeah, she was on the bus.
She was
as well.
injured. I think she was injured.
I don't think she was. I think she was shooken up by it. Ray Borg was the one that was injured. Got some glass in his eye.
That's right.
But yeah, they.
So you have to come back from that.
Yeah. So she had a few mental challenges, of course, with being the champion. So she's reset herself and come back. And excellent. Like, you could not have asked for a better way to become champion again.
No, it's great.
So we'll top it off. Usman versus Masvidal, the big massive fight. Masvidal actually looked really good in this compared to the first one. They were back and forth. Monks and I were kind of talking throughout the fight that even just before this, that hey, maybe Masvidal's getting a little bit too cocky. He was getting touched by the jab, and he'd been hit by the right hand a few times, but had been happy, hadn't tasted the power. Masvidal never been knocked out. Even in back to his backyard days, I think he'd been knocked down at least once, twice in their backyard days, fighting boys twice his size. But yeah, this one, Usman, excellent.
That is such a clean right.
Yeah, clean right. His
striking was
arm touches the cheek, like he just destroys. You could see
this is spit coming out of his.
Well, did you see the still photo? I think at the end of the round, his trainer with poured water over his head, Masvidal, that is, and then you see it all flying. Like whoever that photographer was, got a pay
bang.
Yeah. So, I think Masvidal, ate the shot really well because if you watch it, you can see him cringing and kind of coming. Like he's still with it, but then the follow-up shots, you can see after 3, then he goes completely asleep. He got slept. After the fight came out, full respect to Usman. It's like, hey, I didn't feel his power in the first fight. I felt it in this one. I think he murders Colby Covington, who's in line for the next fight. To talk about one of the Diaz brothers probably fighting either Masvidal or Leon Edwards, depending on how that all goes. But yeah, huge knockout for Masvidal to finish off excellent card with no fights going anywhere near the distance.
No. Yeah, looking at the whole main card, First round, second round, first round, second round. So it's a lot of quick finishes there.
What do you guys think? And you guys obviously are much bigger UFC fans than me about the hammer fist, because there was a bit of chat coming out like Masvidal's out before he hits the ground, and then Usman's got to come over the top and bang. 1, 2,
3, 4.
He's not out to that second last one. You could see the other camera angle where they're looking straight down Masvidal's face. Like you can see him cringing, and that's what Herb D sees when he comes across. You can see that he's still there. He's definitely in pain. And it's those 2 to 3 shots that just seal the deal.
You watch his right arm when he's getting knocked down. There's one point where it just gets absolutely limp.
Right.
It's nothing.
Yeah, you can see it like the second last one, he goes out, and then the last punch, of course, finishes it off. I don't think you can do much with it, because otherwise, if Usman walks it off and then Masvidal has eaten that shot, he's probably going to take a bit to recover, but maybe he gets back up and the fight continues. And
That's just, you guys see it as part of the sport. That's just good.
It is an unfortunate
it can feel
part of the sport.
unnecessary at times.
I think there's some, like, this one's not a complete absolute knockoff. Like, you can see him crumple. His left hand kind of comes up that he's defending himself, and then the follow-up hand fist finishes it off completely. Yeah. But there's some where, that Rose one, actually, no, they're not even the Rose one. Like, there's some where it's just, you can tell just straight away.
You're just mashing brains. But okay, you guys see it. Because I saw there was some chat about, I think,
there's a super fine line. Let's put it that way. There's a super fine line. It's really hard. And, I've shat on Herb Dean in the past for some of his stoppages. I think it was not a too bad one he's come across. He's kind of seen where Masvidal's in. He's eating those. He's given it Masvidal a chance. Like, it's a main event. He's like, hey, maybe. I know he's got an well-renowned chin, but he seemed like, hey, he's not doing anything. He's getting smashed up. Done. Usman, off you go.
Because Usman said that. He said, I'm going to go until I've got a ref telling me to stop. So
that's how they train. Like, yeah. As Masvidal said to Ben Askren, those punches were super necessary.
Yeah.
And then I think wraps up the UFC and UFC news.
Yep.